Changes for CJ either as we go into our final game, and why would you? You know, if you're a coach, if your team's position in the playoffs is already locked in, why make a roster change? In fact, CJ losing that badly is a reason to keep these guys in, because clearly they need a bit more practice in the booth.
And you also benefit from not showing anything as
Very
you go
true.
into the playoffs. And considering that CJ will have to win 2 best-of-5s to even make it to the finals, that is a major consideration. So Azir and Rumble, we're seeing identical bans from Samsung. Twisted Fate will now be banned out by CJ, so they're mixing it up. Gragas will be available. Victor is banned this game. Ryze is up, Nidalee is up. Will they first pick the Nidalee? They will take it away from Eve, and we'll see what Trick can do on this champion.
Yeah, so Nidalee. Trick's Elise didn't look terribly stellar. He wasn't hitting a lot of cocoons. Had some awkward repels there, and we'll see if he can hit anything on the Nidalee.
So Braum Elise will be the lock-in, so Eve will get to try his hand at that champion himself, and they grab Braum, who will be able to stop a lot of the poke in the late game from Nidalee, should she start to stack up on that AP.
I'm excited about seeing Eve's Elise. With his mechanical ability on other champions like Nidalee, it's pretty psyched.
So
See what he can do.
Kalista, surprisingly, this was the first game in a long time where Kalista was neither picked nor banned, game 2. I think you take it away right now. Will you grab the Shen? They're going to be in another low wave clear situation in the early game. It actually didn't hurt them that much, but you never know when something like that's going to come back and bite you.
Still, Kalista's pretty strong, and they are going to take it.
All right, play the Ashe again. Love it.
Why not? The Ashe was great. He was hitting all the arrows that he needed to. They're going to take the Maokai as well.
Okay, Kalista, Shen, and what are the last picks going to be for CJ? Coco's going to have to play something different. Azir, Victor, Twisted Fate, all banned. He has to blind pick something. It could be the Ahri. That's a decent blind pick. Could be Ori. Could be Alistar Orianna here. That would be a nice setup for them.
The Orianna wouldn't be...
Well, Alistar, Ori, Shen together is a hell of a form of engage.
Kassadin would be a bit of a surprise. I mean, talk about low wave clear in the early game.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to pick the Kassadin blind. That would be most unwise.
Keep seeing the Zyra hinted at, but I don't think that's going to happen. Will we see the Lulu?
Oh, I really hope we don't.
I think we will.
Okay. This is the first time we're seeing a Lulu-Kalista combination. So, okay. You're going to have a lot of shields and a lot of speed for the Kalista to get in the middle. And the Yasuo coming back for Crown. He played this really well against SK Telecom. Led to a very exciting, very bloody game. Just a tremendous number of kills in that game.
Samsung's got a very scary team here.
Yep, multiple knockups with the Maokai and the Braum to help set up the Yasuo. Good pick potential with the Ashe once again. And CJ, this is such a low damage composition.
Yeah.
You don't have a hyper carry like the Kog'Maw to run Juggernaut here. You're basically hoping that Space is just going to run into the enemy team with a Runan's Hurricane and destroy everybody by having a billion shields.
I guess.
That doesn't sound like a great plan to me.
Well, it remains to be seen.
If Space can pull this off, it's going to be hilarious, but I just don't even think it's possible because there's simply too much crowd control. And look, there's targeted crowd control from Maokai. He has to dodge through Braum stun, Elise stun, Yasuo ult. I think this composition is absolutely terrible from CJ.
I mean, you'd think they'd need to get Space rolling pretty fast early on, too, but how in the world are you going to do that?
Well, fortunately, Kalista does have a lot of kill pressure, so you have that advantage going for you, which is nice. But Samsung may be able to take the 2-1 victory. We'll find out. Time to get in the game and see if Space can win it. Okay, welcome to Summer's Rift. Oh no, Alistar!
Oh, he's okay. All right. Well, scared me for a second there. CJ versus Samsung. And CJ with a very unique take on team building as they will try to take on Samsung.
I don't know why you don't pick Ori here for Coco. I really, really don't. It's so much better and provides a lot more late game damage. I think the only way CJ wins this is with some sort of epic snowball out of the laning phase. But their composition, it just doesn't do damage. It just doesn't. And I don't
Trinity Force Shen.
I just don't see if Samsung doesn't have any kind of crowd control, maybe Kalista can just hop her way into 4 people and start putting down a million Ren stacks with a Rune's Hurricane. But Samsung has so much crowd control, that is going to be really hard.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this because if it works from CJ, it will be glorious. If it doesn't work, which I don't think it will, it's going to look really silly.
Well, it'll still be glorious, just in a different way.
Well, what do you do if you are CJ and you have to deal with Braum and Maokai? What happens against a 6-item Maokai for CJ? They just don't have the damage to kill the Maokai ever, at all.
Everybody builds Trinity Force. That's an awkward dance. I don't know.
Eve showing us that he can, in fact, do the can-can.
Oh. That's nice. But can he land cocoons? That's the real question. Can Trick land Nidalee Spears?
We will find out shortly. All these answered, questions answered, and more.
Can Alistar come to terms with wearing the skins of his own people?
Yeah, that's dark.
Yeah, man. I mean, you'd assume that's leather.
Maybe he wears the leather of humans as some sort of...
Could be.
He's wearing human leather right now.
Ew.
Doesn't have to be cow leather. Well, it's not gross to him.
Well, I suppose. It's true. You have to understand other cultures. Cows wearing human skin. Totally normal. Now Max comes in with the pulverize. And Space just farming. He doesn't want any part of this trading shenanigans. Max getting very low, though. This lane is not going well for CJ already.
Yeah,
they get the level 2 first, though.
Yeah, but the harassment that came in forced a potion really early out of space.
Yeah.
Ash poke, something obviously very annoying to deal with, but the downside to Ash is, of course, that it is relatively easy to gank her.
True.
Fury doesn't care about that.
Nope.
Setting up for the arrows, constant harassment, and now Trick coming in.
Hello. Crown in a little bit of trouble. The arrow
Nice
is blocked
block.
by Wind Wall. Yeah, Crown just slides his way out of there with the E.
Yep. Sets up the other spear, so doesn't have to use any kind of summoner. They have 2 walls to block damage. I mean, we didn't even talk about that.
That's
they have
true, yeah.
Unbreakable, and they have the Wind Wall from Yasuo. That's going to limit the damage from CJ even. I don't think CJ, unless there is some insane mistake made from Samsung, I think that Samsung can really just crush CJ's composition.
How do you even get damage in?
No, you can't. That's the thing. They actually picked a composition that can't do damage.
Okay. Well, good luck. Good luck to CJ.
Godspeed, CJ Entis.
Well, it's a combination of entertain and us. And us may be entertained. Knock up on a Coco. Will the cocoon be fired at all? No.
Yes, it will be. Onto the Scuttle Crab.
Oh, you're right. Hey, the Scuttle Crab takes extra damage that way.
It does. Very exciting times.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 walls are really... I hadn't even considered that previously.
Yeah.
And Crown's Yasuo is super good, guys. He really showed off what he had to offer against SK Telecom, and he made a very entertaining game of that particular match. All right, well, if we talk about CJ, I suppose their best option is perhaps to... Just the Lulu pick doesn't work at any level here. Maybe they could start a Shen split push, but that's the hope.
What you do is Alistar gets thrown in, gets the pulverize, then Lulu ult hits, so you get the double knockup, and that gives Space enough time to auto everybody, I guess. Then the taunt comes in. So CJ just wants to like infinitely CC a large group of people. So if Samsung clumps up and allows that to happen, CJ can win a team fight. Oh, and if they don't put any walls down first.
Yeah, no walls are allowed.
So if they group up, 4 people get infinitely CC'd without any walls, CJ can win a team fight.
Yes,
It's as easy as that, guys.
It just, there's so many things that have to go right for CJ. This is a very unstable composition. And trick in the top side, but at least just there to make sure that they are safe while they push forward into this turret. Continuous harass going down. Max doing his best to keep space topped up with some HP, but no discernible advantage yet for this Kalista.
We should talk a little bit more about how CJ might be able to win this, because if they do and you don't talk about that, it makes you look really bad. And I look fine. I'm the play-by-play guy. You don't need to be right for me to turn out okay in this one, but I'm worried about you, Monte Cristo. I want to make sure you cover all your bases.
Thanks, buddy.
Kube, oh, nice spear on the Kube. Trick coming in. Kube has that ult for some tankiness. Trick trying so hard to do damage, and not a lot is done.
Yeah, had already used his flash, but saves his twisted advance, sees the gank coming in, just simply twisted advance onto the Nidalee, arcane smash behind, and that is enough to get out. Eve will, in the meantime, start doing a solo dragon after Yasuo pushes in the mid lane.
Looks like Crown's going to come down and help out. Eventually.
One of the nice advantages of Elise being back in the meta currently. Spiderling tanking on that dragon, highly useful for early dragon takes, and this will be a very early dragon for Samsung.
Oh, wow, 7 minutes. They grab that first one. Trick steals the Krugs.
This could be in a 31-minute 5th drag for Samsung.
Wow.
Yep.
Be very fast. For Rome, for Coco, they're going to try to dive Kube here, and Kube, there's a big minion wave there for CJ as well, too. Kube in a lot of trouble, uses that ult. Wild growth there, knocks up Kube. Helper needs that extra tankiness. He's going to flash anyway. Kube's still alive. Kube's still alive. Kube lives through the 1v3. Oh, does he? He gets a kill. At least he gets first blood against Helper.
That was actually really well played, but talk about a no damage composition.
No kidding.
And so that dive goes horribly wrong. Meanwhile, Crown and Eve will just take the mid turret. And that was kind of their only hope, was using the Lulu wave clear. First blood for Kube, who does a very good job of just dancing underneath his tower to avoid the majority of that damage. Huge play from Kube.
Yeah, no kidding. 1v3, manages to get first blood out of it.
And you know what you don't want if you're CJ is this Yasuo roaming into side lanes where they have knockups in both of the side lanes now on this Yasuo. As soon as Wraith hits level 6. Here comes Crown, he's back. Hasn't gone back to shop yet. But we saw how much damage Crown could do with this static shift Trinity Force Yasuo that he likes to build.
We're going to see him go back now. Eve manages to get his own blue.
Yeah, it's taking that. Crown doesn't really need it.
For some reason, I thought he was stealing. Oh, arrow. Nice flash from space.
Yep, that would have been chained into an unfathomable amount of stuns afterwards with Eve on that bottom side and the concussive blows from Braum.
That was pretty telegraphed, though. I mean,
okay, well, you trade an arrow for a flash. You're going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
Makes it even easier for Maokai just to TP into the bottom lane and get onto Kalista immediately with a twisted advance.
See, what you got to do is just like laugh spam, so they come up and laugh spam with you, and then you hit them with the arrow.
I mean, CJ has had some terrible drafts this season. They have had some really bad drafts at times. And I'm not sure if this is the worst one. I really didn't like their Fizz, some of their like Fizz Vayne games. Like Fizz Vayne Kassadin, I think, was one of their drafts.
Oh, wow.
So they just picked something with absolutely no wave clear and lost all their towers and then got stomped. But this one is unique.
You know, they won with Fizz earlier today.
They did. But the no wave clear is a CJ special. And definitely coming through here. Blade of the Ruined King first onto space. Okay. You can get Blade and then you can get a Runan's Hurricane. Do a lot of damage, I guess, if you don't immediately die.
True. Oh, hello.
I mean, there's nobody there to follow up. It's just Wraith watching them, really.
Yep.
They don't have a jungler or a mid laner to actually stop that, so CJ does find a nice timing to put some deep wards in.
Works out. Space pushing up this bottom lane now. Fury's got his ultimate back up again.
And is this the moment where Fury hides in the fog of war and waits for Yasuo to come? Because Lulu's not in mid lane.
Yasuo's not coming, though.
No, he's pushing up instead. Disappointing.
Oh, now he's coming. All right, but CJ with a little ping, they know that he's on his way. And
Yep. Pink ward right in the brush.
Yep.
So they take a little bit of turret damage as Fury holds back and waits for everybody to get there. Now, Elise is there. They don't know Elise is there, I don't think. Oh, yeah, they saw him, I think, on the ground board.
Ah, okay. No, they really, oh, there we go. And there's a chain CC. Space knocked up again as well. Damage comes in. Shen ulting for that shield. Space still very low. Eve gets the kill. Samsung knocked up, though, but with no Kalista, there's no damage. And CJ on the run. And that's the CC. That will result in a lot of deaths for Space.
But great planning. I mean, after blowing the flash, wait for the ult to come back up again, use the Maokai teleport, and there's very little counterplay possible from CJ Entis.
Yeah.
Kalista simply doesn't have the tools to follow up on that, so nicely played by Samsung. They're going to kill the turret as a result. Remember, no side lane wave clear from CJ Entis. Fury starting to get quite scary now as he reverses the wave and then kills the turret. Oh, looks like they'll just push it out. And so, Samsung in a really great position to end their season with a win in a match that is totally irrelevant to CJ Entis.
Yeah, wow, Coco taking a lot of damage. Crown gets whimsied. Could come in, though. Knock up dodge. So, no last breath. And even if he had Coco, could have wildly growthed himself.
Well, the Yasuo is scary, Noah, but it's not going to be...
Oh, got the flash.
Yeah, Eve coming in with the repel. If that last breath had landed, then Eve would have just hit him with a cocoon, and it would have been death. So that was a smart flash from Coco. He would never even have had a chance to use the wild growth. Well, he could have cleansed, but...
Samsung in a great position to take this second dragon now, too. They're there. They've got all the map presence. Fury killing off the Sentinels. And there's really not a whole lot, it looks like, that CJ can do to stop this.
Man, cleanse is so useless on mid lane, Lulu. It's so much better to have Ignite, to be a lane bully, and start to accrue some gold if, for chance, you can get a kill. Or at least you have some more damage. But there's not even any Ignite on CJ. They just have no kill pressure.
Pretty much. Infinity Edge on the way for Fury.
Crown deciding to build a Vamp Scepter before going into his Trinity Force. I wonder if he will build Blade of the Ruined King this game. I think that the Trinity Force, while a better item, of course it does have that insanely high cost attached to it. So you do end up getting a later power spike, even if it is a more potent one.
True enough.
So some ward wars right now. As we start to...
Fury could ult again here. Eve is there to follow up with the CC. They do need to be aware of Helper's Shen ult, of course.
I'm not sure they do. I still think they have no damage, so Shen comes down and they shrug their shoulders and kill him.
That's how it was the first time.
Yeah, you just don't have to play very respectfully if you're Samsung in this game. You have a large gold lead for the 15-minute mark. You have a couple dragons under your belt.
Got leads CS-wise in mid and bottom.
Yep, and Fury even at top. And there's nothing Coco could do against this pickup from Crown. Even if he trades, Vamp Scepter will help keep him nice and topped up. And he, again, just waiting there in the bottom lane, hoping for a degree of over-aggression that he can turn around onto CJ. Yeah, just camping the bottom lane.
Yeah,
goes
why not?
right back down there after recalling.
Oh, Kuve's coming down too. Interesting. Oh, and Coco in a little bit of trouble. There's a wild growth. There's the exhaust Crown looking for the 1v1, but Shen comes in. Crown in a little bit of trouble here. Windwall gets the knock up onto Coco. Over the wall he goes. Whimsy, trick, spear dodge, but Coco with the kill. Yep, a little bit too aggressive there by Crown, but they got the Shen out. They got the Shen ult out.
Yeah, but they're going to lose a tower for it. So Crown getting cocky, overcommitting once the wild growth was used by Coco.
Disrespectful?
Yes, too disrespectful. Turning that into a 3v1.
Oops.
And losing the mid lane tower as a result. So nice little claw back in this game for CJE. And no answering teleport able to be used by the Maokai. So back to farming, Doa.
Oh, good.
I know it was exciting there for a second.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Looks like Crown will be going for a Blade of the Ruined King this game. That is a bit of a surprise, but it is a better item in a split push. Able to carve through those minions and stay quite healthy.
You'd imagine that's what he's going to be looking to do later on is split push. Eve going after the Rift Scuttler. He'll get it. So without that Shen ult, I feel like now is really the time to strike, you know, with the Nidalee, or with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Crystalline Arrow?
I don't know what it is. It's
Enchanted Crystalline Arrow.
Nice poke. Yep. They just back off. Farming is in Samsung's best interests.
If you say so.
But they're still waiting on that Infinity Edge from Fury. Would be nice to get the completed Blade of the Ruined King onto Crown.
It's got to be close. Fury's got to be really close to that IE.
Yeah, should be. Still a lot of wards from CJ. They detect Eve in their jungle, and well, that's not going to result in much. They don't have any wards in Tribrush, so Sentinel will be sent that direction. Eve will just pop in from behind and take that out immediately. Trick now setting up for a possible counter gank. Righteous Glory finished from Cuvée alongside his Home Guard boots. So he's in a great place to answer.
I'd like to congratulate Cuvée for 2 seasons in a row now. He's avoided being the recipient of the Long Panda
Hey, he's played
award.
well tonight.
That's right. He's really improved quite a bit in the second season. Oh, knock up. Max gets caught though. Wraith in a lot of trouble. There's a Braum ult going down. Max pops his ultimate trick coming in. Teleport coming in for Samsung though. What can they do with Cuvée? Space doing damage from the outside, getting quite a bit of auto attacks in. Samsung with a very, very awkward engage there.
Yeah, they were kind of responding to what CJ was throwing at them, and now the Cocoon's coming back.
Wow,
you cannot fight this Samsung composition. You're not going to be able to win if they're kiting. Samsung has volley. They have so many slows that you simply can't re-engage like that.
I'm trying to get that turret. Samsung generally low health right now. Fury still looking okay, but without the ultimate, there's not a lot of utility that the Sash offers. No mana either for Fury right now.
Yeah, that's really problematic. Here we go.
Cuvée goes in with flash. There's a knockup. Will Last Breath connect. Crown able to get in there a little bit. No, he's not. He's not even in the fight. Trick getting chased down by Elise. There's another Cocoon. Helper just trying to run for his life, and Samsung strikes. CJ immediately on the run after that fight began, and that seems to be very indicative of the amount of damage these two squads can put out against each other right there.
Yeah, CJ, they got really greedy for that turret, but Cuvée knows there's not really a lot of threat, so he just bounces Space in. Space dies. Looks like Wraith manages to grab him at the end of his flash. Thought he was safe because he still had flash up, but guess what? So does Fury. And they get that last Braum stack on there to clean up 4 for none.
Not bad.
Siege's composition is really bad when it comes to Siege. Just because when you only have the Callista and there's a twisted advance, it's very easy for Cuvée to get in range of you and just set up the crowd control chain, which will be your undoing. Now we have the third dragon.
This is like one of the major problems with CJ, obviously, is they have no way to fight a dragon fight. So Samsung can basically just get dragons at will this game, and that's what they've been doing.
And Space, I don't even know what he's building. He has an Avarice Blade. Why do you need that item on Callista? The only way you win this game is with a Runaan's Hurricane. but I guess he thinks he needs the Shiv for some more wave clear. But this is putting up just a ludicrously low damage Callista.
Will they get a turret? Just to grab that.
Now we come in back to the mid lane, which has just been farm wars between Crown and Coco. Not quite with that Blade of the Ruin King yet, but he's working his way up there. Should have it completed right now. Meanwhile, Fury keeping up in terms of those items. Unfortunately, Eve has most of the kills in this game. But it's nice that Maokai has some because, again, the tankier he gets, the less likely it is that CJ wins this game.
Well, yeah, with the low damage comp, certainly is nice. I'm a little bit surprised Crown hasn't been more mobile around the map, you know?
Yeah, he's just been pushing up the mid lane and farming the enemy jungle for the most part. We've seen him take a bunch of Raptors. He has to be careful. He doesn't have that much armor yet, and that Blade of the Ruin King will be doing work on him.
Yeah. Oh, Fury and Wraith able to do a lot of damage to this top turret. They're just going to be able to take it out. And so turret lead goes back to Samsung again.
Yep. Falling back from Coco now as multiple people from CJ come in.
And Eve took a bit of damage trying to get into that turret. Looks like CJ is going to get the bottom tier 1. So turrets even up between these two teams right now. And Space just pushing very, very boldly.
Well, that's his advantage at the moment, right? He has range, he has a Blade of the Ruin King, which can help him out against the Maokai. The problem is going to be what happens when Yasuo gets in a side lane. Yasuo with the Blade completed 2. Looks like he's going for Merc Treads or perhaps a QSS as his third item. And with the cutting of the magic damage from CJ Entis, that should be a great situation from them. Just build MR, kill Space immediately. It's not hard to kill him with Samsung's composition. And Space not really close to a QSS himself.
Might be fighting time, knock up on the blue buff. Not a hit trick though, they weren't really going for it. They wanted the buff. Oh, Ash Arrow goes through. Oh, Trick narrowly dodges it. Got him. Nice.
Fury needs to keep up that 100% accuracy.
Well, he missed one.
Oh.
He missed one. Remember, Space flashed the one. That's the only one he's missed so far.
Back to farming. They really just should put Yasuo in a side lane right now. He doesn't need to be mid anymore. They can absolutely just put Ashe mid instead.
I have been wondering about that. It seems like Crown really could be a little bit more active around the map.
Yep, just have Maokai and Yasuo in your side lanes.
It's not like he's lacking items or anything.
No, he's just getting super fed. And now finally, oh no, Yasuo's coming back to mid.
Oh.
Fury was there, had some nice backup, has some good wards around him. I got excited that it would be just Fury farming mid, and Yasuo going to 1v1 Space's Callista. I mean, he has exhaust this game. He could totally 1v1 Callista.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even notice that.
I don't know why he has exhaust. I can't imagine he's worried about exhausting the Lulu.
For the 1v1, man, so she can't get away.
I think it's good if you want to split push with him with the Blade of the Ruin King. He's perfectly set up to do that. He's simply not doing it.
Maybe they see it as too much pressure in the mid lane or something.
Oh no. Ashe will be able to clear those waves very efficiently.
A pretty good wave clear with that Lulu now.
Fury's back.
Yep. Back with another arrow.
Back with another arrow as they look at a very early Dragon number 4. Okay, CJ.
This is the moment.
In prime pick position.
This is it.
Okay, they're playing around their pink ward right now.
Oh, they see him. Wow.
They're bottled into the enemy jungle.
They are indeed. Cocoon comes through. There's the arrow and actually hits Space directly. Gets a stun as well, too. Coco has a Shen'Al come in on him. Space is alive for now. Nope, there's a kill for Cuvée. Coco ults himself, trying to get away. They managed to kill off Fury as well, so both AD carries down. Wow, three-man knockup, double kill for Trick. Samsung in trouble. They really grouped up right onto Alistar, but yeah, Crown coming in now. A little bit afraid, though.
Wow,
like.
Samsung should have had such an easy team fight right there, but they split up in a really poor fashion at the end. Crown went chasing, whereas if he had been with his crowd control, should have been quite easy to take it. Now, they will be back up by the time the dragon actually spawns, so can they take this objective in the end?
Maybe. CJ is sticking around the dragon pit right now. They're waiting on Eve. Samsung, that is. Dragon up in 5. CJ really wants this one. They don't want to let their opponents have 4 dragons in 26 minutes.
Yeah, they're going to actually just go for it.
But they'll get it, too.
Kuve decides that I think they should just fight him again.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Here we go.
Well, on the space, they've got the passive started, the concussive blows. Max very, very low. There's a knockup. There's the last breath coming in from Crown. Crown just gets blown up immediately, though. Eve doesn't hit anyone with the cocoon. Coco on the run right now. Crown actually still alive somehow. And Fury able to do some damage to Coco. There's another kill for him. So 3 kills for Samsung. They don't get the dragon, but they get most of CJ.
Well, they're going to get a Baron off of this, which is perhaps the bigger prize, and they still can threaten that 5th dragon very early in this game. Helper down for 20 seconds. Coco down for 30. So it should be an easy Baron take.
I'm just amazed that Crown actually lived through that fight. He had like sub 50 health easily.
Yeah, he was a bit lucky right there, but had enough protection to actually pull through in the end.
So Trick trying to be a hero here. Throws in the arrow, gets blocked. Ash arrow doesn't get blocked though, as Fury does a lot of damage as a heal from Trick. Can he get away? No! Fury catches him, and there's a Baron on all 5 members of Samsung.
Yeah, quick recall, push out the waves again. Now they have that opportunity to really punish CJ. Their split push with his Yasuo with a Baron buff is absolutely monstrous. Taking a look at that fight again, I mean, Space is on the outside, has the concussive blows. They try to engage onto the Yasuo, and they get the wild growth, but Crown lives right here, gets through the enemy team, and just starts running. Summoner heal actually saves him.
Yeah. So for a fight where Crown didn't even really do any damage, CJ still loses 3 people.
Well, we've discussed CJ's composition at length this game.
Oh, yeah. And they certainly do seem to be suffering for it a bit. Fury having another great game on Ashe.
Yeah, nice and fed now.
Yeah.
The Ashe was fat.
I knew that was coming at some point in the series. That's for sure. The Ashe was fat.
It could only happen if Fury got fed.
Yeah, it's true. They're going into turret. There's a nice knockup. Can CJ follow it up? Max in the middle of everybody, taking a lot of damage. Fury on the outside, just untouched so far in this fight. Used his ult early on onto Max. Max lived because of his ultimate, though.
Yeah, Helper had to burn TP. Still has the stand unit for a possible re-engage. Just take a look and see if it happens.
They're going to go for the inhibitor turret. Max not re-engaging. They're going to pick him up with Callista here. Could throw him in at any moment, but they're going to send him back to base.
If they throw him in without the Unbreakable Will, he's just dead. So
Shen ult.
Shen ult. Well, they did have Wild Growth. They had Shen ult.
Yeah.
Fair enough. They could have done it.
I mean, that's the idea, right? I mean, that's what this comp is theoretically supposed to do. You throw Elsar in, you Wild Growth him, you Shen ult him, he pulverizes. That should be how they engage with this comp, isn't it?
Yeah. Still, I think it would have been much more effective with Orianna. You just chain it straight into a shockwave.
Yep, that helps too. I don't know. CJ moving up to the top lane now. Oh.
Nope, just empowered recalls. Nothing really going to happen. Easily able to clear the waves and then head back into position, set up for some more tier 2 tower sieges. They can get into the bottom side. Meanwhile, looks like Brown has decided that he doesn't need a Last Whisper. He's just going to go straight into the Infinity Edge.
Wow.
Helper not with a lot of armor yet, and no one else with armor, so if he gets that item, he is going to be absolutely terrifying when it comes to his burst.
Yep, Lots of critical hits incoming. Helper's lurking in the brush.
Okay, just checking right there, but they're not going to see Helper. See how cautiously Samsung plays around this brush.
Oh, Crown is in taunt range. Oh, and then he walked out of taunt range before Helper taunted.
And Cuvée didn't have TP, so that could have actually gone quite well for CJ.
Yeah, that was a dangerous moment.
Yeah, they still have super minions, though, and there's not an easy way for CJ to kill them.
Those super minions are starting to push into the base right now, so somebody from CJ is going to go and take care of that.
Samsung can just sit here. CJ, if they try to engage, they will just be kited by Ashe.
Yeah. Well, in a narrow corridor like this as well, Ashe Arrow can do some serious work, and the Nexus turret's already taking damage. I'm sure they're just waiting for somebody to go back, and then they're going to Ashe Arrow.
Yep, no problem to dive the tower with the Maokai in the position that he's in. At the moment, Maokai still threatening to wrap around. They do have to send Shen back. Has the Stand United. Okay. Hard for them to deal damage, though, with Ashe onto a tower. Remember, you don't have any way to get out if they CC you, and Max can easily get on top of you in that situation.
Dragon up in 30, so it's more important right now that Samsung just keeps CJ pushed back. They just need to be able to go and take this Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's just another way to threaten to win the game.
Yep. And Samsung with this one last wave, I wouldn't be surprised if they disappeared here in the near future. Fury already heading back. There they go. Dragon up in 4. Now, how fast can they take this Dragon?
Or are they going to take the Dragon? They can try and create a pick.
Yep. That's true.
They can bait it, but it looks like they are just going to start and pull it out of the pit with a volley. Yep. Coco off on his own, so there will be no contest here.
Wow, all right. CJ just giving this one up.
Well, there's a huge minion wave.
I guess so, but now that's 4 Dragons for Samsung. I mean, CJ's really caught between a rock and a hard place yet again this game.
Well, the rock and the hard place were invented by them during the pick and ban phase, Doa. You can't feel too sorry for them about how this game is played out. They really didn't have many ways to feasibly win this game.
I have no mercy.
Oh, no Last Whisper required when you could just go back and get a QSS if you're Fury. Stop that Shen taunt at the very least from affecting you.
Yep. And Crown has got to be pretty close to his Infinity Edge too at this point.
Yeah, he should be coming on up with that soon, just trying to take some jungle camps, drawing ever closer to that huge pickup that he will acquire quite soon indeed. Recalling, oh no, he should just push this out. What he's waiting for. Wants to get a little bit of vision. Now he's going to take it as soon as he sees how many people are in the mid lane.
He wants to be safe. He has died once.
Here we go.
Oh, trying to engage with the Righteous Glory, but Wraith rather, shuts that right down with the Q.
Yep. Stopping that with a nice slow to the face. And again, CJ just can't engage head on. Too many slows, too many stuns that will be thrown at them for kiting purposes. Baron up in 6 seconds. They got some wards on it, but Samsung will counteract those imminently. And Trick, their only hope to do damage, will be countered by Windwall and Unbreakable, so they're not even going to set up some nice poke with Nidalee Spears.
Pretty much.
Inhibitor back up.
For how long?
Yes, drawing ever closer.
And Baron up as
Samsung.
well. And they've got that Shen split push going, so CJ can get him back anytime he wants. There's Max. This is Headbutt Pulverize, I'm pretty sure. There's Braum ult, knocks him up. He's got his ultimate. He's very tanky. They can't quite kill Max right now. Blista brings him in. Are they going to throw him in for the Wild Growth? They do. They try it out. No Wild Growth, though. There it is, a 5-man knockup, but where's the follow-up? Elise just immediately repels. They come down, and we can see this. Just no damage from CJ. A double kill for Crown already. That was a 5-man knockup with Wild Growth, and there was no damage done at all.
And not only that, but Crown immediately ulted space and blew him up afterwards.
Well, a kill for Trick. They get 2. Oh, Trick gets 2 kills. Some damage coming in.
Here
Eve
comes
a little bit
Crown.
low. There goes Coco. Yeah, Crown doing a lot. There's the ace. And there's the game. Eve with like no health left, but it doesn't make a bit of difference, guys. And Samsung will be able to get the 2-win victory over CJ's sub-roster. I wouldn't drop him in the power rankings just yet, Frank Fields. That was nothing to worry about.
Well, nothing
CJ
to play
still
for.
has that 3rd place spot.
Might as well give your sub players some time, but that was a really bizarre draft from CJ Entis. Easily countered by Samsung, has a lot of tools to shut down the Nidalee, multiple walls. Great play from Samsung, and they snowball it into a pretty easy win. Very little resistance even possible with that team composition from CJ.